There is a story in the Old Testament of a vision given to Ezekiel the prophet at a time when life had been devastating and difficult. The people of God living in Jerusalem had disobeyed and followed everything but God for generations. When he could endure their wickedness no longer, God brought judgment using the Babylonians. Consequently, death and destruction, along with famine and loss, become commonplace. You can imagine what this catastrophe did to the outlook on the future for the survivors. It was hopeless. They felt abandoned, forgotten, and alone. They were utterly lifeless. So God takes Ezekiel in this vision out of town to a valley filled with dry bones. In fact, they were very dry, meaning those they represent have been dead a long time. As Ezekiel moves around the bones, God asks one question: Son of man, can these bones live? Ezekiel answers wisely, Lord God, only you know. Then God does something miraculous. He instructs Ezekiel to speak to the bones, putting flesh on them and breath in them, making them into a living, breathing army. At this time, God reminds Ezekiel, the people have been saying, our bones are dried up and our hope has perished. But God shows the prophet he can make dead people live again, as a picture of what he promises to do for his hurting people. He says, I will put my spirit in you, and you will live, and I will settle you in your own land. Then you will know that I am the Lord. I have spoken and I will do it. This is the declaration of the Lord. God makes the lifeless live again. As miraculous as taking a pile of bones and turning them into stunning human beings with soul, worth, and personality is, this is his specialty. God makes dead people alive again. A plan of any variety on its own merit will never get you there. The only path to invincible is through dry bones made alive. Once he puts his spirit in you, nothing can hinder what he wants you to become. You and I participate in this journey. You can become the most uninhibited, confident, and immovable version of yourself. Such renovation of the heart, mind, and soul doesn't happen overnight. Most of the time, it is a process. When you and I begin to live in this reality, we become spiritually invincible, immovable in our faith. It gives deep roots to what you believe and to whom you belong, so that whether the Lord changes the circumstances or chooses to leave them undisrupted for the next 30 years, you and I are secure. Either way, nothing in our midst thwarts who God determines you and me to be and what he calls us to do. These readings help illuminate what is possible and necessary for a woman who's been left out, lonely, familiar with lifeless dry bones, to participate in becoming who she longs to be. The Lord is sovereign over your life. In him, you are immovable. You shall not be shaken. And when that happens, my friend, you will no longer be invisible. You will be seen for all the right reasons in all the right ways.